Ed Dunsavage is a former Navy man. He and his son Jeff are keeping their eyes closely fixed on the ocean, but it's not because they're interested in fishing. Jeff's brother Joe of Edison, New Jersey, took off in a catamaran from the island in Honduras where he was vacationing, and he hasn't been seen since last Sunday.
My brother's part owner of a business down in Roatan, and he took out a catamaran, a little 9.5-foot Craig Cat, no sail, that just used for tooling around in the shallows. He was going out to do a little bit of fishing. He had his fishing gear and went out with a liter of water and his fishing gear. And as far as we know, he got out to where he was supposed to be fishing, and we believe had engine trouble and began to drift. We've been searching for him ever since.
The Dunsavages are nearly exhausting their financial resources paying for the search and rescue effort themselves because the military search has been called off.
Essentially, the military portion of the search has been called off. None of the three governments who were involved are still looking. Therefore, we're conducting this search entirely on our own. We've got airplanes and helicopters in the air. We've got boats on the water. We've got some volunteers out there helping. We're doing our best using the resources at our disposal.
We're trying to coordinate it now, especially since all the other help has stopped. So we've got boards up for keeping track of who's responsible for what job that we're doing, so there's no duplication. We're trying to keep tracks of boots on the ground, people helping to look from the shores, monitoring where the helicopters are going that we're hiring, the helicopters and planes. Just to avoid the confusion, we've got 4 laptops, cell phones, and a house phone, just going 24 hours a day, trying to keep this thing going.
Joe Dunsavage is an experienced sailor, and he's an avid fisherman, according to his father, Ed.
He's an intelligent guy, and he's strong, and as long as he puts everything he knows together, there's always a possibility of using the outboard as a rudder, even though it doesn't run, just by you might be able to control it a little bit. He's a good swimmer. He's confident in that. If he's with the boat all this time, I think he's got the fishing equipment, the tackle. So if he's utilizing everything, that's why I say we're going to stay on this until we find a boat or him. We have no reason to stop.
But even as Jeff and his father vow to continue the search for Joe Dunsavage, there is one thing that could be an obstacle. It's the money. They're paying for the planes and the search vehicles out of their own pocket, and it's becoming a major strain on the family's finances.
We are desperately in need of money. We're burning through about $20,000 a day, keeping all the various assets that we're that are in the air and the water.
You're actually renting planes and helicopters.
Planes, helicopters. We're fueling volunteers' boats. We're doing this on our credit cards. I mean, we're running out of resources. People have been extremely generous. We've gotten a lot of support from a lot of people. But if we're going to keep this going over the weeks and months that it may be necessary to keep my brother, keep the search out for my brother, it's going to take a lot more. So we've set up a fund. It's called the J. Dunsavage SAR, as in Search and Rescue Fund, and it's through Wachovia Bank. You just contact the bank and you can make a donation to help find my brother. The other thing, to the extent possible, let your congressmen and senators know you care about this. Let them know that even though the military piece has been called off, there's still got to be something that they can be doing to help with this search. Just because we can't be flying military aircraft out there, there are things that can be done. So please let them know that you care and that you're concerned. And finally, if you have any knowledge of anyone in the vicinity who could be helpful in any way that we may not be thinking of, please contact us.
As the clock continues to tick, Ed Dunsavage and Jeff will continue to keep a vigil by the ocean, hoping and praying, but also reaching out to a worldwide community through the internet, through social media, and through other channels to try to find Joe Dunsavage and bring him home safely to his family here in New Jersey. In Seabright, this is Steve Lubetkin.